Hey, so I had this really big, huge urge come over me, this need to come out and connect with a tree. And I just felt this huge urge that I needed to come out, find the tree. I don't know which tree it's going to be, and communicate with this tree to receive guidance to put the message out. And I don't know exactly what the message is going to be regarding or which tree it's going to be. But I did hear the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. So I don't know if this is going to be like a berry bush or whatever, but I just felt the huge urge to come and do so. And I thought that I'd film it and put the message out. And the interesting thing is, the first time that I actually received guidance outside of me, the first time I really connected with like energy, it was actually with a tree. And I used to go out into nature, and especially times when I felt like I needed grounding, or times when I just felt like I needed to come back and center myself, I would go out into nature and I'd find a tree and place my hands upon the tree, or even hug the tree for grounding and to keep me connected to earth and rooted in myself and who I am when I feel like I'm coming off balance. And because I was doing a lot of work like connecting with the trees, and the trees were actually helping me feel connected and helping me feel grounded and helping me kind of stay calm and centered, I began to have this interest in trees and nature. So one day I decided to go out and ask the tree of its purpose, but not of its purpose in terms of that singular tree, in terms of like the wider construct of things, and what role do trees play in like this experience. And basically, it may be in one of the guidance videos that's due to come out, but what the tree said is basically that they could remind me of everything that I needed to know. Basically, that they are kind of like record keepers, and they live for many, 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 many years. Many trees live far beyond human years, obviously. And whilst they are living, they are able to absorb information about about the events that happen on Earth, especially between man and man. For some reason, it's feeling that they hold a lot of wisdom when it comes to like man and man situations, in terms of like I want to say politics, or like civil wars, or just things that are about the people, even though everything is about everything and everything is about everyone. But I mean, just things that are more about the people. And I'm even seeing like suffragettes, or like different kinds of movements. Like they hold a lot of information and a lot of knowledge. But enough of that anyway. Let's go find the tree. And I think we found our tree. So, as I was walking and trying to find the tree, this stump called out to me. And although I didn't question that this was the correct stump, it's almost like the stump came forward and was trying to justify its worthiness. And it said to me, it brought up the phrase again, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice, but it was referring to the fact that, yes, it's been cut down, and yes, it may seem dead, but it's not dead, it's still alive, it's still living, and it's still got plenty of wisdom to share. And what was more significant was the fact that the stump, the fact that it's been cut, it's almost like, because it's been cut, what was within it is able to flow out easier, it's able to be transmuted easier, because it's not kept in the vessel of the tree, if that makes sense. Its knowledge isn't kept within the tree, it's able to just freely be exposed to man. So I'm just going to take a few moments just to center in on this particular tree's energy and just to see what messages it has to bring forward. And for some reason, I'm instantly feeling like I'm receiving messages and I'm hearing time wasters. And it's just taking me to time and to like fulfill. It's like fulfill something, to not run out of time. I'm hearing don't fall out of time. Okay. What the tree's saying to me is that time, whilst time isn't something that is like real, and that probably didn't sound very eloquent, but whilst time isn't very real, and it's like a made-up thing for us to live in this 3D world and to have like organization in the society that we've created, the tree's reminding us to not fall out of time, to not like get out of touch of that element, basically to stay grounded. It's bringing us back to that grounded nature. When you become ungrounded, you can lose track of time and like time within physical reality. And the tree's saying to use time and the concept of time and the construct of time to your advantage, because time does help with having the concept of time does help with organization, and it does help with like kind of getting things done and staying on track. And I'm keep being drawn to like, I want to say the spiritual community, and like, well really it's showing me like hippies I've never met a hippie or like really even seen one in real life, but I'm referring the hippies to like the spiritual community as that, because many of us know that time isn't necessarily a real thing, it's a man-made kind of thing, that we tend to strive to operate outside of time, if that makes sense, to more go with the flow. And it's not saying to not go with the flow, it's just saying to also use time to your advantage and the construct of time to your advantage. And sometimes we think that simply just going with the flow and taking ourselves out of the construct of time, sometimes we think things is easier and that things will come in easier because that means that we're fully surrendering. But to fully surrender isn't to just discard this reality, because this reality is just as important as every other reality, every other dimension, every other way of thinking. Like I'm seeing like third density thinking and like 5D, fifth density thinking, or states of consciousness, that all of them are equally just as important. And whilst other states of consciousness may be filled with more light, it doesn't mean that they are more true, more valid, or more significant or important than the other, because they all work in conjunction, if that makes sense. Everything works in union together. I'm hearing that like working with time can be effortless, and you can still have a rigorous and strict schedule and still be in flow, is what I'm getting. It's showing me people, and right now I'm seeing business people. Like I'm seeing a businesswoman in a suit, and it's almost that she's got so many things on her list that she has to do, with like all the times and dates and where she has to go and where she has to be. But because she's got everything mapped down to time, she can be in flow and not be stressing, if that makes sense. She can just go about her day, know where she has to be, and use time to her advantage, if that makes sense. There's this floating kind of energy. There was just a bee that just came here, and it was hovering, but it was hovering in like just a very distinctive way that made me feel like it was significant, and I was questioning what that was and what the meaning was. And then I was shown a ghost, like Casper the ghost, and I was shown the ghost also hovering. So I don't know, I thought there's this... Oh, okay. The tree, and I just... Gaia actually just popped in as well, and she was basically saying that the tree's bringing you back to back. The tree is basically saying it again. It's reminding us not to fall below time, not to fall out of time, to stay above it, to stay on top of it. There's something to do with time. I don't know, maybe time is speeding up, or time, or the way that we are experiencing time. I mean, like some of us individually, our unique experience of time, and maybe that's changing, and maybe maybe it's causing many of us to like become ungrounded, the way that we are experiencing time, and the fact that time feels as if it's speeding up. I don't know, for many years now, well, yeah, the last couple of years I would say at least, that me and the people around me have been feeling that time feels like it's speeding up. The days feel like they are just flashing by. And it does feel like it can feel like there's not a lot that we can get done in a day, but again, like that individual, if we can come into balance with time and use it to our advantage, we can still get just as much done. Okay, so basically, time is speeding up. This is why I was being shown the woman, because it's all making sense now, the woman with the schedule, with the busy schedule, with everything mapped out, because she's the person that is staying above time. She is able to work with time and use time to her advantage. Because time is speeding up, there is an element of us having to physically work with it and use it as a component to help us. And we need to maybe do more planning when it comes to the things that we want to do, the things that we need to do, the things that we are ambitious about and passionate about. There needs to be some planning, because time is speeding up and we can actually still do just as much. I don't know if I'll just repeat myself so many times, but we can still do just as much. There's this element of us not being able to complete things and not being able to fulfill things because of this fast forwarding of time. I'm hearing Akashic Records and Revelations. I don't know what that means. I feel like something to do with the Bible. I don't know why. Obviously, Revelations is in the Bible, but something's coming to light. But oh my God, I swear I said that in another video about maybe something to do with like the Bible, or how man came about, or how humans came about. It's going to come to light. But I'm feeling something to do with the Akashic Records and Revelation, a revelation. And the Akashic Records basically are the records of everything. The origins of everything is in there, really. Which makes sense to me. So definitely I am feeling that there is going to be this this exposing, or this release of information to do with humans or mankind, or the or how humans came about. But I think that's all. I just want to thank this tree for being present with me and allowing me to receive and transmute this guidance or these messages. If you could, just extend your gratitude to this stump. Peace and love. Ashe.